No one talks about the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge. It's all the Golden Gate, you know. And I personally think this is a lot more spectacular than the Golden Gate Bridge is.
Well, so far as I'm concerned, the Golden Gate Bridge is the other bridge. Other people might think differently.
The San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge, the other bridge across San Francisco Bay. No one sings songs about it. No one writes legends about it. To most people, it's just there, overshadowed by the beauty and mystique of its golden sister. Yet this steel bridge is longer, deeper, and busier than the Golden Gate. It stands alongside Hoover Dam and the Panama Canal as one of the 7 engineering wonders of the modern world. And no one who travels it sees or feels this bridge quite the same. This is the story of the other bridge, the challenge of building it, the engineering that shapes it, and the everyday struggle to help it survive. In 1929, there was only one way to join the peninsula of San Francisco to the manpower and commerce of the East: the ferry boat. 40 boats an hour choked the waterways, carrying 50,000 commuters a day. There was simply no more room, and something had to be changed because the Bay Area was changing, growing. The solution? A bridge. No bridge like it had ever been built. The greatest engineering minds in America came together: Purcell, Moran, Modjeski. The structure would have to span a stretch of water wider than any other bridge. And it was deep water and even deeper bedrock. Earthquakes were a constant threat. Every fundamental bridge design in history was studied. One plan after another rejected. Then, slowly, the answer. Designers would combine 9 bridge types into one, a bold and innovative design. Starting in Oakland, the bridge, shaped by triangles, rises slowly over shallow water, then crosses deeper water as a cantilever truss. Through the solid rock of Yerba Buena Island, finally climbing over the West Bay in 2 back-to-back suspension spans. 8.5 miles of double-deck steel and concrete linking San Francisco to the rest of the country. Construction began in 1933, a WPA project under President Franklin Roosevelt. The hardest part was in the beginning. Engineers experimenting with new methods of excavating finally used huge steel cutting blades attached to hollow chambered caissons. They were sunk 240 feet to bedrock, creating the deepest underwater piers in the world. Towers for the twin suspension spans were anchored to the piers, and they rose 500 feet into the air. Giant wheels spinning steel threads into cables rolled without stop, 21 hours a day, every day, for months. Across the water, the roadway grew, completing West Bay construction. It is literally suspended in midair, hanging from the main cable by thin vertical suspender cables.
And here we can see the cable, the life of the bridge. This is what really holds up the steel and all of the vehicles, the trucks that cross it. As the vehicles cross the deck, the load is transferred to the side up these suspender cables and delivered to the main cable. Now, the main cable is draped in the form of a great parabola, and it carries those loads up the cable in a giant sweep to the tops of the towers. And then the forces flow down through the tower to the earth. Now in the San Francisco anchorage, and the anchorage anchors the end of the cable to Earth. This is the cable as it comes in to the San Francisco anchorage, but the cable is not solid steel. It's actually composed of many, many wires, actually 17,464, and each wire is just about the size of an ordinary writing pencil, and it's strong enough to hold up 2 automobiles before it would break. These wires are gathered into strands, 472 each, and each strand has to be anchored individually. There's actually 40 million pounds of pull in the cable as it comes into the anchorage, and that 40 million pounds of pull has to be spread out and transmitted down to Earth by means of I-bars. Now, I-bars are large steel needles that are embedded 120 feet into the concrete. What this is the vital link between the structure and the Earth. This is where the 40 million pounds of force in the cable is transferred to Earth. So it is the most important single element in the entire bridge.